Well, what do we know? Chelsea can actually play some straightforward attacking football and actually put the ball in the net more than one time. Incredible game by every single player on the pitch. That's the most important part right now, especially towards this end of the season, where we still need to win probably all of our remaining games if we actually want to get that Europa League spot. Could be feasible, but of course, it's also out of our control since the other teams above us need to lose their games or at least lose some points, plus we need to win ours. But focusing on the West Ham game, great performance by everyone. I still think that midfield duo, Conor Gallagher, Caicedo, is top notch, should have been our midfield duo since the start of the season. But of course, now it's preparing us and showing us what we could expect next season. Cucurella's new type of role / position, overlapping hybrid left back, incredible move, but of course it only works if the other players do their jobs. More on that in just a second. If you enjoy this type of videos, first of all, thank you everyone for all the recent support. I really appreciate that. If you're new here, help me out and hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. So first half, pretty clear first half. The game was basically over already. 3-0. If you look at every single stat, every important stat, we were dominating. 15 shots compared to 3 shots, 290 passes compared to 141 passes, 393 touches compared to 229 touches. Chelsea here is in orange, West Ham in blue. Don't ask me why we don't get blue every single week, but okay, doesn't matter. We were controlling the game. If we look at the heat map, it's pretty clear that we were controlling the game. It's also pretty clear why I'm a huge fan of left-footed players. Here again, you can clearly see Cole Palmer, Madueke really enjoying that right side of the pitch where they can use their left foot to whip the ball in, dribble, take some players out, cut their midfield duo as well, as you will see in the second goal we scored, where Conor Gallagher basically made a pass that cut through all of that press, or standing press, shall I say. Then with regards to West Ham, it's pretty clear, right? With Cucurella joining the midfield quite a lot of times, yes, they are going to press on that side in the hopes that they can catch us off guard. If we look at the full-time stats, again, dominating across the board even more than before. 25 shots compared to 12 shots, 725 passes compared to 298, and we had 903 touches compared to 477 touches for West Ham. You can also clearly see where we are dominating, especially here on the heat map. Yet again, those right areas where Palmer, Madueke usually dominate. You also have, of course, Conor Gallagher and Caicedo, and then same thing there, West Ham attacking that side where Cucurella sometimes wasn't there. But of course, when you've got Badiashile, Silva and Chalobah actually doing their jobs quite well today, they shut out West Ham. Of course, when you win 5-0, you would expect, I was expecting Madueke to score a goal, but even today he was not able to score a goal. He did have some chances, did play okay, but couldn't score. It's a shame. When will he score more goals remains to be seen. Then diving a bit deeper, our midfield duo, Gallagher, Caicedo, have been working wonders for us in the last couple of games. Unfortunately, since Enzo has been injured and out, these two have been actually dominating the midfield. Now here in this game, you can clearly see their presence. If you cut it in half, it's basically Caicedo being a bit more defensive, but even him went in the West Ham half. Gallagher a bit more forward as well, scored a nice goal. So that's great. But what happens when you add Cucurella? This is what happens when you add Cucurella. Of course, you've got that defensive spots here at left back, but he also added more recently, I will go back and forth so you can see this on the screen quite clearly, adding a lot of support in the middle of the park, and I think that has been quite a game changer. Those two midfielders, Caicedo, Gallagher, and then Cucurella coming in, has been immense for us, especially in the last 2 games. And of course, this only works thanks to Badiashile's cover. You can clearly see here, yes, we're playing with a back 3, so you would expect him to be in these types of spots here, but even him, we've seen this throughout the season. Our center backs, usually it's with Badiashile, Silva a bit less, but Badiashile, Disasi for sure, usually play extremely high, which is also why we have been conceding quite a lot of goals throughout this season. But in this game specifically, you can clearly see, does his job quite well, but even him went a bit more to press. Then we have here Cucurella, Gallagher, Caicedo, complete domination here in the middle of the park, plus that left side as well, where West Ham usually had their biggest presence. Then with regards to that second goal, I mean, Cole Palmer here had the ball. Clearly nobody was really pushing him that much, right? West Ham were sitting back. Their two midfielders are here sitting back as well. But what happens here? You've got Madueke on the left here, Gallagher in the middle of both. What do these players do? They are ball watching. Ball watching is very, very bad. Chelsea players have been ball watching throughout the season way too many times. Madueke being one of them as well, right? I mean, he's been great this game and last game. But defensively, yes, he did evolve throughout the season, but this is something you should be doing in football, ball watching. So these two are basically watching Cole Palmer's ball leave his foot. The moment the ball leaves his foot, it's already over for these two. Goes straight to Madueke, touches the ball, of course, a little bit of luck there, reaches Gallagher, and that's a goal. But these are the types of passes that basically break these types of teams down. We usually have little issue when we play top teams that like to attack, because then we can counter. There are some open spaces. Things are fine fine, better than usual. When we play those teams that play in a low block, that barely attack, those were the types of games where we were sometimes winning 1-0, but then we concede the goal and then the pressure is on again. These are the types of passes that break those low blocks. I hope we're going to see them more and more, and I hope it's not only coming from Cole Palmer, because we've seen what happens when Cole Palmer does not play for us. One game, we lose, we crumble. It was a complete disaster. These types of passes, I hope others can learn as well, because we need more of those, plus we need more individual brilliance, right? We've had that, thank God, with regards to Eden Hazard when he was at Chelsea. Individual brilliance solves a lot of our problems. You can see that with all of the top teams, they have those individual players who, let's say a team does not perform well, the other team is very, very defensive. You can play 1,000 passes, it doesn't matter. It usually takes one or two brilliant players to solve the problem and you win the game. Hopefully now that we're getting a bit more consistency in the team, hopefully that will solve a lot of our issues. Now, surprisingly, of course, United still play on Monday against Crystal Palace, but we are above them. We're now just 2 points away from Newcastle and 6 points away from Spurs, who are now going to play against Liverpool. Plus, they also still have to play against City as well. Newcastle also have to play against United and Brighton. Man United still have to play, I believe, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Newcastle and Brighton. So yeah, we need to win our remaining games. Forest, Brighton, Bournemouth. But we also need to hope that Newcastle and Tottenham drop some points if we really want to reach Europa League. If not, then it's going to be probably the Conference League. Europe is pretty close for us, but again, we need to win our remaining games. If we do that, then we just have to hope that the other teams drop some points. But overall, great performance by the team, great consistency as well. Yes, I think that Arsenal game woke up a lot of players. Now, maybe it might be too late. Can be. I've seen some reports now that are saying that the owners are demanding Pochettino to be in a European spot. Yeah, okay, great. Thank you for telling us that at the end of the season when now it's not really in our control. Plus we've had all of those injuries, plus all of the inexperience. So, okay. If they want to push him out, just say that. Don't start throwing out new goals just because we're at the end of the season. But okay, overall, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I think the players are happy as well that finally things are flowing. Plus the last remaining games, let's be honest, should be quite easy wins. We're playing twice away, one at home. That's our last game. Hopefully a nice send-off for Thiago Silva. So that would be it for this video. Of course, do share your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you enjoy this type of videos, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.